Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fourth lesson in the intermediate course. I'm Professor Corton, in case you forgot, and we're going to get started. We've got a lot to cover today. We're going to look at strong adjectives. We're going to talk about what those are. So a lot of new vocabulary with adjectives. We're going to focus on present perfect with for and since, and present perfect continuous. And then we're going to do some pronunciation dealing with sentence stress. So let's get started. Don't stress, just relax. This should be enjoyable. So let's begin. We're going to start with grammar, present perfect plus for or since, and present perfect continuous. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of these in the beginning. You're going to have homework on all of it later. So for some of you, this is review. For others, you're a bit confused by it, especially with for and since. Actually, I'm not going to do that because we have the listen and check. So you're going to check your answers with the audio files, and in the process, listen to their pronunciation. Now, we're going to move then to the grammar exercise, Grammar Bank 2B, which is right below here. And I want to highlight a few things that I think are most important. So I'm not going to read this to you. I'm going to show you what's most important and save you time in reading. So I believe the most important rule to understand present perfect, for and since. When do you use for, or how do you use for, and how do you use since? Here it is, right here, and it's found in this right here. We use for plus a period of time. For 2 weeks, I've been in England. We use since for a point of time, since 2016. So since 2022, I've been in Poland. So since the date, for the time. Now you're going to practice this. We're going to have a lot of chances to practice this. And how this all begins is often with how long. How long have you been living here? That's a very common question you ask people when you first meet them. How long have you been living here? I've been living here for 3 years, for 10 years. And so they can just say for 10 years. They don't have to repeat the whole thing. So I will read these because you're not going to have the audio files. They've known each other for 10 years, for a length of time. Julia's had that bag since she was at university. University was 10 years ago, since she was at university. How long have you worked here? Since 1996. How long have you worked here? For 20 years. So you have 2 ways to answer that. Since a date, for a time. So how long have I been a teacher? Since the 1990s. How long have I been teaching? For more than 30 years. It's a long time. So practice those until they become second nature, until they become very familiar. Let's read these. How long have you been learning English? Nick has been learning English since April. They've been going out together for about 3 years. So this is the present perfect continuous. Your eyes are red. Have you been crying? No, I've been peeling onions. You know what onions are? They make you cry if you get too close to them as you're cutting them or peeling them. No, I've been chopping onions. All right. So number 1, and this is what I want to draw your attention to. Here's the rule, and here's what you want to pay attention to. We use present perfect continuous with for or since with action verbs. There's got to be an action. I've been learning, I've been working, I've been running for 3 hours. I've been running since 10 this morning. I've been exercising since. So something that's active you can use. We don't use present. With non-action verbs, we only use present perfect simple, not continuous. So they've been knowing each other for 10 years? No, they've known each other for 10 years. So if it's not an action verb, we can only use present perfect simple. Those are the simple rules, the ones that I chose to highlight, because I think if you just focus on those, you'll be fine. Keep in mind, live and work, you can use in both. Live and work are often used in either present perfect or present perfect continuous. So I've lived here since 2010. So if someone asks me, how long have I been living here? I can answer in two ways. I've lived here since 2010. Notice I say 2010, or I can say 2010. That's it. 2010 or 2010. Or I can use the continuous form. I've been living here since 2010. All right, you've got some homework that you're going to do, very short exercises. I'm going to limit the homework because I want everyone to keep up, not get behind. So we're going to go back. And the speaking part, I would like you with your partners, and I want you to encourage you to find speaking partners. Now, I know some of you have friends or speaking partners on your own. You don't need someone in the group, but I know that some of you do need them. So I want to encourage you to reach out, reply to messages, write, and ask if someone would like a speaking partner. And it's at that time then you can use present perfect and present perfect continuous to answer these questions or these topics, discuss these topics right here. And here are the examples. How long have you been learning, or how long have you been playing the guitar? How long have you been dancing? How long have you lived in this country? So you have a lot of chances to practice this. And these up here give you an idea. So how long have you been using social media? How long have you been on Instagram? I've been on Instagram since 2018, which is true. So you can ask these questions. How long have you had your car? How long have you lived in Paris? How often do you eat out? Actually, that's not right. How often have you, which you can ask it. It's a great conversation piece. I eat out every week. All right, we're going to skip the writing, and we're not doing reading, except that I'm going to talk about new words and phrases in the reading. It's about a polar challenge, someone going to the Arctic and surviving and thriving and doing all sorts of interesting things. Now, I'll read a little bit of it for pronunciation. You can pause the recording if you want, but I'll just read the introduction. This is really, some of these words are difficult. TV presenter Helen Skelton has never been afraid of a charity challenge. A charity challenge is a challenge. Let me just see here. Oh, we've got them here. What is a charity challenge? A charity challenge is a contest to make money, to raise money. We've got it here, to raise money for a certain cause. Often it's medical related because we have a lot of issues with our health. There are lots of problems that this body contracts that we need solutions, or, we need ways to prevent these. All right. So that's a charity, is something that works for the benefit of others, and often it's not for profit. To raise money, you can raise a lot of things. I can raise my hand. That's literally, physically raise my hand. I'm raising the pen or lifting it up. I can also raise money. Now here's an interesting one. If I raise the ceiling is right up there. But if I raise the ceiling, it means that people are clapping really loudly, and the noise is so loud from the music or the clapping. We call this clapping. We also call this applause. If you like something, you give them an applause afterwards. If you raise the ceiling, it means you clap really loudly for someone. Let's raise the ceiling for, and they introduce the group. All right, a good cause. A cause, it's not because, but cause is an event or some sort of charity that you want to help. So maybe the cause is cancer prevention, or cancer solutions. So whatever the cause is, hunger is a very popular cause. The environment is a very popular cause these days, promoting a safe and healthy environment. All right. Oh, wrong way. So let's move on with a few more illustrations. Now, she ran a 78-mile ultra marathon, a 78-mile ultra marathon. Now, marathons are very large. I don't know if you are very long. I don't know if you know how long they are, but I think they're 43.1 miles. I think so, something like that. It's very long. Or is that kilometer? Oh, I'm getting, oh, no, sorry. That's kilometers, 43.1 I think it's kilometers, 26 miles, something like this. Kayak. Now, kayak, you might know, she has kayaked 3,200 kilometers down the Amazon. Now, a kayak is when you're in a boat, but it's just you, and you have these oars on both sides, and you do this, and this, and this. And this is how you move a kayak, with the oars. You can have a two-person kayak, and then you have one person behind you or in front of you, and you're in very choppy water. Is very wavy water. Choppy water is dangerous. You can get hurt or die in this. You got to be careful. But kayaking, I hear, is it's an exciting sport. Now, kilometers, notice how it's spelled. In Britain, they spell it R-E-S at the end. In America, they spell it R-E-E-R-S, kilometers. And also they say it differently. Kilometers is what the Americans say. Kilometers is what the British say. All right, let's move on with some more pronunciation and word usage. Now, I'm just going to give you some definitions here, because honestly, some of these are difficult and you might not know what they are. Trek. Can you see here the word trek on the left under B? Trek is starting out. Our trek is our hike. It's a long walk, but it's for sport or an event, a trek. And you normally trek over snow or mountains. Trekking. But we also say hiking, cross-country hiking. All right, sledge. We're pulling a sledge. A sledge is like, a sledge is something that's low to the ground. You put stuff on and it goes over it rides over the snow and ice very easily. So you can pull it easily because they have these runners on it, and it glides over the ice and snow. It's called a sledge, or a sled, actually, is what we would use in the US. Let's look at this here. Minus 15 degrees Celsius. That's how you say that. Let's practice it. With a temperature of minus 15 degrees Celsius. Minus 15 degrees Celsius. Visibility comes from visible, and I think it's a Latin word, but to see, what's the visibility? How far can you see? So how foggy is it? How clear is it? So what's the visibility? The visibility was terrible. I can see 10 meters in front of me. That's all. Everything else is dark. Now, this next one is difficult. Morale. Let's practice it. Morale versus moral. Morale with an E, moral without an E. Your morale is your attitude, your emotional state. Do you have high morale or low morale? If the morale is low in the group, people are depressed, they're sad, they're not feeling confident. Morals is different. How are your morals, or how you act? do you act in a way that is acceptable by society? Do you have good morals, or do you have bad morals? Are you stealing and hurting people with your words? These are morals. Do you have morals? Straight away. Straight away is a British phrase, which means right away. So the Brits say straight away. America would say, let's do it right away. And the common synonym is immediately. Immediately. Straight away is immediately. Let's do it immediately. The wind dropped. So dropping is like this, but if the wind drops, it dies down. The wind dies down, died, because it's in the past, died down. If it dies down, it slows down. It's less intense. The wind is less intense. It's now 5 miles an hour, or kilometers rather than 30. All right. Very good. I trust that some of this is new and helpful. Exhausted, you can see here, exhausted, you probably already know, but it means very tired. I'm exhausted. Actually, it means exhausted is very tired. That's right. Very tired means exhausted. We don't say very exhausted. You're going to learn about that with the strong adjectives. Very tired or exhausted. And here's a strong adjective, absolutely filthy. Filthy means very dirty. So we can't say very filthy, because very dirty means filthy. Absolutely filthy is how we do it. And these are strong adjectives. And here it is, strong adjectives. With strong adjectives like exhausted, you can use absolutely, completely, really, totally, but not very. You can't use very. And these are used obviously for stress. All right. I hope you're not stressing with this homework. Now, you do have some homework. Of course, here are the answers to some of the questions. The exercises above. I want to wish you happy studying, study hard, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.